Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Dave from StructuredStrength.com. I am here with Heather. Heather literally just walked in the gym and got pulled into this video, so she kind of knows what we're about to do, but not really. In case you haven't noticed, you've been watching this for a while, I enjoy pulling people in when they have no idea what we're going to do, because then we can actually coach and show that, hey, not everyone's perfect. We can move through it step by step. So we're going to talk about how to overhead squat today. So this is another movement where a lot of people do it because they feel like they need to do it. The idea that it is functional because you're going to produce force through the ground. Your core has to be strong enough to produce force for your arms. I get it. I get that people use it as a movement screen. I feel like it's more of a show of fitness than necessarily a builder of fitness, if that makes sense. I also feel the same way about like pistols. Like, hey, they're cool and stuff like that, but they're not really like a builder of fitness. So we personally don't do a ton of overhead squats with people, depending on whether or not they pass certain range of motion standards, shoulders, ankles, hips, to make sure they're not getting hurt while doing it. Because if it is something where you don't have the ability to get your arms in a certain position, you can't squat without doing something weird, which Heather's about to show actually, we don't want you doing it because it's not going to help you, okay? So Heather is gonna show our stereotypical bad overhead squat that coaches see and cringe. Go ahead, do a couple more. She's gonna go hips way back, those shoulders internally rotate, she's looking at the ground, and relax. So we're gonna, sorry, it's just so bad. We're going to pretend that Heather passes all the range of motion screens, right? Her ankles are good, her hips are good, shoulders, all that stuff is good, which I think you pass all those. Close? Okay. And we're gonna talk about, first off, which way you actually squat. Do you squat hips back? Do you squat hips straight down? Where the weight's supposed to be in your feet. So the first mistake we see is people go hips way back because they were taught weight in your heels. So get that PVC pipe overhead. All of a sudden we see people shift back all the way in their heels and then they sit way, way back. And because of that, torso angle gets crazy. Come on up. I'm gonna have Heather put her big toes into the ground, almost dig her feet in, right? So you're stable through the whole foot. I'm gonna ask her to squat straight down and up. So you can see she's got a little butt wink going on. She just came in. Go ahead, go down and up. But see how that torso angle really changes? You can chill, you can relax. Did you breathe? A little bit? So that changes a lot if we just focus on squatting straight down. Now, if you go to do that and it's like, gook, and you stop, don't force it because you're missing range of motion somewhere. It might be a hard stop in your ankles, it might be in your hips. Don't force it, right? The next thing we're going to talk about is the head position. Now, you saw before, she was looking straight down. The head got way exaggerated forward. I'm going to have her kind of stare at the mats, was that 12, 15 feet in front? And then as she's going down, her head angle, I don't want it to change, but her eyes are going to come up a little bit. All right, so she's going to get that PVC pipe overhead. Good. Now keep those eyes up just a little bit. Eyes up just a little bit. That is a better position. Now, if the head is shrugged forward, go ahead, push your head forward. That's usually a sign that your shoulders are way tight and your body's trying to create room for it. You can stand on up. The whole reason for the head kind of pointing down in front is that your torso most likely is going to come forward, but it's okay to keep your eyes kind of looking up a little bit. So there's a lot of interesting research where neurologically, if you just look up slightly, all your spinal erectors, stuff that creates stability in your shoulders and everything, lights up better for deadlifts, Olympic weightlifting, stuff like that. You don't necessarily need to crank the head, but even if you just look up. All right, so one more time. Heather's going to get that bar overhead. You hear that crack in her shoulders. Much better head position, and come on up. The last thing we're going to talk about is what's going on with the shoulders, okay? So we often hear shrug into the bar, shrug into it. If I shrug, I'm here. In what world is this stable, right? This is not really stable. Instead, I'm going to tell Heather to reach, consciously press into the sky, into the ceiling, because then we're using different muscles. So if I say shrug, that's all traps, right? I'm up in my neck. If I say reach, it changes, right? We have active shoulders, whatever you want to call it. It's going to help you be stronger overhead because you don't want it just to sit in. There's a couple reasons you don't want that. If it just sits in, we're not as stable, as well as there's all these nerves and everything that run through this little hole in between bones, and that stuff can get pinched off, and that's why you get numb hands. So I'm going to have Heather go overhead. I'm going to tell her to shrug. See how everything kind of turned in and gets kind of weird? And you'll see people do this, and they're pretty strong at it. Personally, I just find it very ineffective, especially for the general athlete. It's kind of hard to do. Relax. I'm going to tell her to kind of reach for the ceiling, right? Constantly press into that bar. Keep your abs on a little bit. And see how that shoulder position changes. Now, Heather's mobile enough to get those armpits way forward. Most likely, chill, she's going to be a little bit elbows towards the back a little bit. She doesn't have to be directly elbows to the ground. All right? So as you squat, just constantly reach up. Go for it. Good, come on up. Again, I know that she's got a little butt wink going on, that lower back, she's losing it. Better, and up. Yeah, you gotta tighten up that core a little bit. One more rep, and relax. Okay, the only thing I'd probably do with her, because her ankles are a little tight, her knees aren't going that far forward, the more we can get her to sit down almost between her ankles a little bit, the better that torso position is gonna be, probably the better that butt wink's gonna be. So 3 things, right? Your weight should be in your whole foot because you're sitting down, not back. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is make sure that head isn't jacked way forward or looking down. Try keep it pretty neutral, looking at the horizon in front of you. And number 3, don't shrug, reach. Think reach, especially when you're doing snatches. We want to drill reach, and using the overhead squat to drill that was really going to help. So if you're out there, if you're looking to get stronger, if you're kind of burnt out in your current program, not getting the results you want, check out down in the description below, contact us. We got a program just for you. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks, Heather.